this is your help for homework. I have one more example if you want to see what we did for last class. So given 1, 0, find the other zeros of the function. So let's say that we have this function, and let's say that we were given one of the zeros is, I don't know, f of 4. So 4 is one of the zeros. The first thing that we want to do is get the factor. Now the reason why we need to get the factor is we're going to use long division in order to factor this polynomial. And we need to factor the polynomial in order to get a quadratic function that we can actually find the zeros for, because before we know how to use square roots, quadratic equation, and factoring in order to solve or find the zeros for quadratics. So what we're doing is we're breaking down a cubic function into a quadratic function using one of the given zeros. So I'm just going to push this out of the way so I can have some more space to write. So we have, using long division, x minus 4 and x cubed minus 4x squared minus 7x plus 28. Take the first term x into x cubed, and that'll be x squared. Multiply by the divisor. Subtract. We get 0. Bring down the next term. And keep repeating until you get to the end. You should get a remainder of 0. That's how you know that the factors are there. So after you use long division, then you have a factor and you have another factor that's a quadratic. Now in order to find the other zeros, you're going to use this quadratic. And you're going to solve the resulting quadratic from dividing. Now we can use square roots to solve this, because this one can easily become x squared is equal to 7. Take the square root of both sides, and x is equal to positive and negative the square root of 7. And then so finally all the zeros, including the one that we're given, are 4 plus the radical 7 and negative radical 7. So in this problem I have an example of factoring the polynomial. I didn't show the long division because you guys have seen it a lot in class. What I wanted to focus on here was what we did last class. We were given a polynomial, and we were given that this this function, that should be actually, let's see here, that's actually given the factor the polynomial given that f of k equals 0. Okay, so factor the polynomial given that f of k equals 0. And so here we have the function f of x, and k equals -6, which simply means that f of -6 equals 0. So -6 is a 0. We have the factor x plus 6 that's associated with the 0, negative 6. Notice that the positive, negative, opposite, because we need to make x be the part where we substitute in the 0 to make this whole part of the function 0. So through the long division, we find that 2x squared minus 5x plus 2 is our quotient. Now you take that quotient and then you factor. And so the quotient factored is 2x minus 1, x minus 2, and then finally write all of the factors.